Well, my entire story is, I guess, kind of sad. I was one of those kids that had tetracycline poisoning. So my teeth were yellowed and discolored from the time I was a child. And so I was bullied for that, my cousins called me green teeth. It deeply impacted my self-esteem as a child and being brought up my whole life. And it's just, despite whatever talent I had, it was just something that plagued me every time I looked in the mirror. No matter how much I brushed my teeth or whatever, I couldn't, the conventional whitening treatments didn't work. And then later on I realized that I had all these genetic conditions that led to the periodontal degeneration. And then in 2010, I was diagnosed with severe periodontitis. I was in a whole lot of pain, and I could barely afford the extractions. I can tell you that the last 3 molars that I pulled out of my upper arch, I did so myself with my bare hands because no one would treat me. And every time I went in to see a provider, I saw 3 implantologists in the United States. Each of them quoted me a price upwards of $60,000 to do for me what you've done. And I struggled, I tried to barter my services. I prostrated myself before these people and said, "Can you help?" And they were just basically like, "No, Tom, sorry, you're too poor," and sent me on my way. And then I had a colleague point out, introduce me to the concept of medical tourism, and that was about 6 years ago. And I began doing research, and I researched all around the world. I talked to practitioners in Uruguay, in Poland, in India, and in Mexico. Maybe about 11, maybe somewhere around 11, 12, almost 20 maybe, different practitioners around the globe. Cancun Dental was the only facility that called me back again and again and again. Every 3 months, someone from your team would give me a call or send me an email and say, "Tom, how are you doing? What's going on? How can we help?" No one else did that. No one else tried to build a relationship with me and work with me in the way you did. And so I went to my family and I said, "These are the people I want to go to. These people have earned my trust." And so that's how I picked you. And it took a couple of years for us to come to terms and for me to get the money together and my health benefits together and get all my ducks in a row. And then I came, and that's how I ended up here. In America, there's a very real separation between medical profession and what they call the dental profession. Dentists aren't regarded as real doctors there. I'm sorry, but that's true. I'm sorry, but it's true, okay? And when I came here, I didn't feel like I was in the hands of dentists. I felt like I was being cared for by doctors. I feel like here that I'm not in a dentist's office. I am in a medical facility, and I am surrounded by people who have the utmost concern for my care. Not just my physical care, but my mental and spiritual well-being. We understand that an unattractive smile can cripple a person socially, professionally. It cuts them off from opportunities, from relationships that they would otherwise be qualified for, both professionally and emotionally, but because of this appearance and because of our just ingrained psychological reaction. I'll give you an example. In South Korea, if you get hired in the IT industry, like if they want you on a frontline position and you have, something wrong, it doesn't matter if your teeth, anything cosmetic, they put that in your benefits package and they make you go. You don't have a choice. You're going to go get your teeth fixed and then you get to go to work. It's part of the deal.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it is, and it's something that I think it should be approached with in every country. Periodontal health, as we know, is related to heart health, kidney health, pancreatic, liver, and when it's not, it's an open pathway for bacteria like Streptococcus mutans to get into your bloodstream, to create plaque around the heart valve. In my country, Medicaid has to pay for people on dialysis. It costs $80,000 a year to take a person 3 times a week on dialysis who's elderly. Imagine if that person had gotten this treatment 20 years before. It impacts the system. It impacts the healthcare system. It makes it cumbersome and expensive and top-heavy and unavailable for the people who really need it. What's great about what you guys do is it's available for people who really need it. I mean, it's still pretty expensive, but it ain't 60 grand. It's not like buying a house. It's like buying a decent used car. It's within the reach of the average middle class or lower middle class American. It's something that we can aspire to, and I feel like it's how the world should be. I'm very happy with the results. And not only that, Benjamin, I'm really happy with you all too. I was even telling my mother on the phone that, Mom, you have to come here and just meet these people because they're just so great. They're just so wonderful and caring. And I can't express my gratitude enough. And yeah, thanks.